Speaking to journalists in Harare, the Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Minister Mushowe, warned the general public to desist from being used by a few individuals who use social media to spread hate messages against the state. Also said this will cause anarchy in the country. He warned the general public not to be used by Mawari, who is now in America and is gaining financially out of the messages that he gives to the general population in Zimbabwe, and is now away in America enjoying the money that is being given by the Americans as he is doing this for financial gains. He started by saying this.
Government is aware of a number of Zimbabweans who, among them, as you now know, Victor Dube, Jeff Judah Hosana, and Tapiwa Marimbe, who have been riding on social media platforms to insert and circulate messages of terror against the state and the people of Zimbabwe. Indeed, prior to the recent disclosures in the media, government had made it abundantly clear it is closely watching the activities of these subversive elements who, in the majority of cases, are fronted by political parties and movements operating both inside and outside the country. These elements who include the so-called Hash Tajamuka and Hash This Flag have been generating and circulating messages which are clearly subversive and a challenge to the constitutional order and the peace. Often their activities have been coordinated with disgruntled elements in the diaspora who think their diaspora status gives them both immunity and impunity. The link between these elements and intelligence services of hostile nations is now well known, much as some of them vainly seek the cloak of religion or other professional identities. One such character is Ivan Mawarire, who has since shown his true colors and is now where he truly belongs, namely in the arms of his handlers. Whereas the government has enough instruments for dealing with threats from these elements, it is important for ordinary and often unsuspecting Zimbabweans to be wary of these shady characters who behave traitorously against their own country and people. If there was any doubt regarding the import of their sinister activities, which include using the social media events of the few days have removed any such lingering doubts, clearly revealing their true identity and intentions. Let all well-meaning Zimbabweans be warned and keep away from associating with programs and activities that fall outside the law and illegal political activities. Government is aware of activists in the country collaborating with the diaspora cyber terrorists. They must be warned that the long arm of the law is circulating and encircling them. Zimbabwe is a constitutional democracy with a well-set electoral calendar. It is a constitution born out of a consensual and encompassing process that represented and enlisted the participation of all political parties and forces in the country. That constitution is supreme and must be upheld by each and all political players. Equally, That constitution has guardians, not least the general citizenry who supported it through a referendum. It is not about to be undermined under our watch. Never. Never. Let those countries that have always pretended to fight terrorism now explain to us how they are aiding and abetting of these terrorists squatting in cyberspace coheres with their self-proclaimed public stances. Zimbabwe does not interfere in the internal affairs of any country. By the same token, it brooks no such interference in its own internal affairs by any country, however mightily that intruder may think of itself. Norms of good interstate relations require that nations collaborate in the global fight against terrorism in all its manifestations and at all stages in its evolution. Indeed, Zimbabwe has played its part. It expects no less contributions from other countries. As I advise peace-loving Zimbabweans to keep away from such shady characters, I also wish to caution the media not to be promoters of hate, divisive, and defamatory messages, especially and constantly targeting the character and personality of the president as well as the first family unjustifiably, all out of malice. Richard Chiza is said to be the one who was circulating the paper to others. So if you are circulating the paper to other journalists, then he must explain where he got that paper from. They are not saying he wrote the paper. They are asking where he got the paper from. And what is wrong with that? He is a citizen who wants to see law and order in this country. And in fact, he is a good citizen. If he told the police who the source of that document that he was circulating came from, I don't see anything wrong with that. In fact, we want to thank him for giving that information. It's not like he has been given some information secretly and no one knew, but he was moving around with the paper in the hand. And surely, you can't say a journalist now asked it to disclose their sources when he was giving the paper to other people. And the other journalists told the police that they got it from him. So, I think he has done a good job of helping the police. The one from my dear friend, when we last met here, one of you asked me that question, although outside, and I provided an answer. No one would want to see journalists or any innocent Zimbabwean being harassed or subjected to undue force. No. But I think let us, as journalists, as professionals, remember our own conduct when we cover events. You are trained journalists. You are more qualified than me as journalists. But surely as a journalist, you know that even if people say that we want to have a peaceful demonstration as is being demonstrated by history in this country, in the majority of cases, the activities on the ground do not show the peacefulness that would have been used when, the demonstration is applied for. When the law enforcement agents give authority for a peaceful demonstration, the expectation is that it would be peaceful. And as journalists, and you know it, and if you watch international journalists, it's very common. Journalists should never, ever be part of a demonstrating mob, because you don't know what they have planned. You should always be on the side of law enforcement agents. And that's what is done internationally. So that should those people who said they wanted a peaceful demonstration resort to violence, yours is to take pictures and not to be part of them. So you should always not be inside the demonstrators or on the other side of the demonstrators, because should they attack the police as they did on that day in question, if the police retaliates, they will not run towards the police. They will run away from the police where you will be. And if, say, the police, tear gases them or waters them, the tear gas and the water cannot separate the journalists from the demonstrators. It's unfortunate, but I think we must, as a rule, and I'm sure you know it, as a rule, whenever there's a demonstration, no matter how peaceful it has been said it would be, you should always be on the side of the law enforcement agents, so that if they start stoning at the force, you will be protected. I don't think the police really targeted the journalists and say, because you are a journalist, I want to beat you. But if you are part and parcel and they are being stoned, then you sometimes become, involved. So let us distinguish the two. Be on the side of the law enforcement agents. And if they attack you when you are on the side of the enforcement agents, then certainly government will not understand that. But how do they separate you when you are running in the same direction within the same people who are stoning the police? And when they retaliate, they may not target at you, but you could be a victim. So I think as journalists, let us separate ourselves from the demonstrators and be on the side of the law enforcement agents. Watch internationally, go to anywhere, even as they cover in Syria, even as they cover in war-torn zones. You will never see a journalist on the side of those who will be targeted by the agents of the state. So help me as well, because I don't want to see this happening. And no one wants to see this happening in Zimbabwe. Let us do the right thing, so that if indeed there is a law enforcement agent who targets a journalist who is by his or her side, then government will take action immediately. Because journalists are so important, And I've always said that is why the president created a whole ministry responsible for your sector. There are lots of people out there. There's no ministry for religion, for example. I'm not saying religion is not important, but you can see how important the media is. And so we must be on the same side. We are together, and I want it to be put on record that no, it is not government's policy that journalists should be beaten, but journalists should do the right thing. Journalists should not become part and parcel, or perceived to be part and parcel of those who will, cause trouble with law enforcement agents. Look, government wants them, and I'm sure the media even said it before us, wants them to come and explain themselves. If what is being said is not true, let them come and say it is not true. Prove to us, government, that we have done it. You remember the first time it was released in the media, a number of social media activists were saying, no, this is not true. Where are the images that we have talked about? You show us the images. Why do you tell us that there is this kind of thing? And the images came out. And I expected those same people to say, thank you very much, now we know it is true, and condemn them. I have said that I think I made a statement here, beginning of last month, about this thing, and I said government was aware of what was going on. Let those who are involved in these kind of social activities stop it. I know people think that, so on social media you are faceless, you are shadows. There's nothing like that. And they should know better if they understand the technology, that you can't hide. And there are still people around here who just, pick on and start refiling or resending these messages because they don't even understand that it's a crime to do that. And these are the people we are saying, please, peace-loving Zimbabweans, don't get swayed. There are people who are now in trouble because they thought Mawarire was, their leader. Where is Mawarire now? Where is he? He's now making his money. People are asking to pay $75 to have a picture with Mawarire. And yet those who are following him here have not even $1 to buy, a loaf of bread. You must be wary of these people. They are just trying to make money. They just want to dupe the Westerners who think that anybody who has a big mouth can remove President Mugabe from power. Zimbabweans must understand that we have a constitution in this country. Those who think they no longer want to see this government in power, wait until we go to elections and vote this government out of power peacefully and constitutionally. All this nonsense about we will close the borders, we will demonstrate, and we will do this, we will do this, those are empty desperation. It's desperation of people who don't seem to understand that they have a constitutional right of putting a government of their choice in power through constitutional means. So, Zimbabweans must know better. I want to say to Zimbabweans, it sounds funny, it looks interesting to make these silly noises and create anarchy. Just look at what is happening in Syria. Syrians had a beautiful country. They had mansions like people in Zimbabwe, some built on top of mountains. Iraqis were the same. Libyans were the same. Once you disturb a peace that you have worked hard to create, it will be difficult to regain it. That's why you see most of the Libyans and the Syrians are dying every day in the Mediterranean Sea, trying to go to Europe to look for peace, which they have destroyed in their country. They once upon a time had peace like Zimbabwe. And so our people must understand the implications of anarchy and of promoting civil strife in a country. It won't help anybody. There is no one who can then go into Gwanzura Stadium and tell people that I I am the leader of this party, I'm leader under a war situation. The rich and the poor will be equal in destitution, and they will all be refugees. And they will all be in one dustbin. So whether you are from which political party, if we promote civil war in a country, no one gains. So, if people think if they come together as all political parties, which is in fact a sign of admission that they are very weak, they have to congregate to fight one political party. Yes, they can do that. And let's go to 2018 and let them win. Let us see. Peacefully. Why you try to create all this civil unrest in a country, a peaceful country like Zimbabwe? We would not be sitting here. You would not be called journalists because you will not know your fate. So let Zimbabweans know if it happened in Libya, if it happened in Iraq, if it is happening in Syria, it can happen anywhere. So let's not promote it. It is not in anybody's interest. No one can form a government under a civil and a war situation. So these people, to answer you, tell them. And you must know that each and every one of them is looking for some form of employment. So when they create all these things, they are looking for some form of employment. I can assure you that Mawarire will tell you that no, you go from one point to another, Luciana and here, and he gets some little man. He forgets about you. And he says, oh, messages from there. And he says, I'm in America, how do you take me now? But those of us who are here, who become then recipients of his messages, and he's making money out of it. And you are making problems for yourselves. So let's not do that.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, ZimDI TV News, and be the first to receive breaking news and stories making headlines. And also subscribe to our website, ZimDITVnews.com, and never miss a story.